Friends of UNH Women's Hockey present Coach's Corner with head coach Brian McCloskey. With a pair of wins over the University of Vermont this past weekend, the UNH women's hockey team improved their league record to 15-0-1 or 16-0-1.
16, yeah.
And clinched at least a tie for their fifth consecutive regular season title. Coach, we all know that we mentioned it after the game, and I think even Coach Bothwell mentioned it from Vermont, is that you can't take too much from this series. Vermont came in knowing that they probably didn't have a good chance of winning, but what they want to do is play strong and play hard, and I think they did that. But what do you take from this game this weekend as you head into the final 2 weeks of the regular season?
Well, I think, as we said in post-game, Phil, there's always little things you're looking for over the course of a season. We did some very, very good things in the two games versus Vermont. And I said this earlier, I give Vermont a lot of credit. I completely understand where Tim's at with his program. I thought they exhibited outstanding work ethic over the course of the two games and were extremely competitive. But there were some really good pauses. I mean, Lucy Shadle played Game 2, Kaylee Herman played Game 1. Neither one had to make a huge quantity, but there was a number of quality chances that we gave up in both games, and just watching the two of them perform in those moments was admirable. I mean, and to their credit. So, I mean, both had to work for their shutouts. Sometimes you get a shutout, and with a team like ours this year, where they really haven't had to field. They may have fielded 15 or 20 shots, but they haven't had really that many were a threat. But I thought both nights against Vermont, we had opportunities where we kind of made mistakes, and Vermont, to their credit, really tried to capitalize, and the goalies had to come up big. So, but I don't know that I take a whole lot. I was more intrigued over the course of the weekend to see how we moved some people around, changed some combinations around to see how those affected different individuals in their play. And, we got 4 points, which, of course, we needed to get set ourselves up for the last two weekends of the regular season. So overall, I think it's a series that we gained some things from, but we really need what we're going to get coming up, which is a little bit more level playing field competitively, and certainly Providence has shown, and we know UConn as well, that they can give us that.
Well, one of the reasons why you're able to shuffle some people around is you've got everybody back and healthy now.
Yeah, we do. And, I mean, there were some nice things that happened. It was great to see Steph Marty get a pair of goals. She's had her chances. She's starting to get more playing time, and she's raised her game since she's gotten that, and I was really happy for her. There were some little things. Jen Hitchcock continues to just sort of grind it out and has really been one of our MVPs this year. And but Angela Taylor played extremely well. We had some people that maybe haven't gotten on the score sheet but are playing good hockey for us. And as you noted, we're getting healthy. Courtney Burchard, I mean, she was out after Christmas for over a month, and for her to come back and have the success she had this weekend was great to see too. So just a lot of really, really good things coming together, but it's not like it all happens at once. You got to be patient with it, and I think the good news is we're reasonably healthy. We've got our full squad, full complement of players that we as we head into this stretch run. So that's probably the best news.
Well, also one of the highlights of the weekend, Jen Wakefield scored her 20th goal of the season. Now, it's not often that a player scores 20 goals, especially a freshman with 4 games left in the season. She's been a very important part of this team.
Well, Jen has. She's a very, very talented young lady, and 20 goals in a freshman season is outstanding. And I think she leads our league in goals in league play. And if I'm not mistaken, she's played 4 or 5 less games. So her numbers are even more staggering when you consider some of those aspects.
That's right. She missed a couple of games from tournament play, national tournament play.
Correct.
She's just had a fantastic season. And I think what that also points out is that you mentioned Courtney Burchard, you mentioned Stephanie Marty. Those are all freshmen, all contributing big time, and that certainly must be encouraging coming into the home stretch.
Well, I think it is, and I think on a team like this, meaning a team that's got pretty good veteran talent. I mean, we've got the senior class, which everybody knows, Sam Faber, Kelly Patton, some of these of our middle class players that are sophomores or juniors that are tremendous players, Michaela Long, that have had strong seasons and put up some pretty good numbers. It doesn't leave a whole lot of room for a freshman in some respects. So for those kids to do the things they're doing in some of these games late in the season is great to see. And in Jen's case, I mean, Courtney was hurt. In Jen's case, she's done it all year, and that's exceptional for a freshman.
Well, we've mentioned home stretch, we mentioned crunch times. Those are the sort of cliches that come up this time of year, but that's really the truth. With 4 games left in the season, Providence and Connecticut, the 2 teams that are closest to you in the standings, it's almost as if playoff hockey begins this weekend.
Yeah, it does, and Providence is going to bring out the best in us and vice versa when we meet, because of the rivalry that exists between the 2 programs, having been 2 of the strongest programs in women's hockey since their inception. So, Bobby's team plays a very predictable style. He might say the same thing about ours, and you know what you're going to get. And those will be very, very hard-fought contests. They'll be great games, and they'll test us in all areas of the game. I mean, that's the thing you're looking for, to be tested across the board and in every facet, from special teams to 5-on-5 play. And then, of course, follow that up with the weekend with UConn, and they've been as good a team in our league this year as outside of ourselves as anybody. So Heather's team had a great year. So we're finishing with 4 terrific games, which should set us up well for the playoffs.
That's right. And a reminder, the team just needs a tie in these last 4 games to clinch the 5th straight league regular season title. Thank you very much, Coach. We'll be back next week. We'll take a look at what happened with that big Providence series.